All right, here we go. All right, good people. Today is, listen, today is the third. Please make sure that you write your first and last name at the top. The assignments due this week. This is the seventh week, and we have the warm up. Hush. This is the seventh week. We also have our homework. Our homework this week is going to be the study guide. Okay, so instead of putting homework, I'm going to put study guide. Oh, essential questions. I forgot about that. Warm up, and then the study guide. We have our test on this unit Monday. Shh, Manny. We have our test on Monday. Okay. Weekly goal. Please take the time to write your weekly goal. I'm going to write my weekly goal. Shh. Here, babe. All right. Our agenda is on the board. Please make sure you please write your goal for the week. Our agenda is as follows. We're going to write our EQ here in a minute. We should have already written, or we're in the process of writing our weekly goal. I've given you a chance to do the warm up, so I'm going to go over the warm up. I'm going to model, thank you, babe. I'm going to model how to solve inequalities, and then we have a partner practice assignment or group assignment, whichever one, that we're going to do on solving inequalities, okay? So we have enough time. Let's go to the essential questions, please. The essential questions are on the board, man. Stop talking to me. All right. Describe how to solve inequalities. I'm going to answer that essential question today. Okay. What is a function? I'm going to go through that this week. And then describe how to use the vertical line test. To determine if a graph is a function. Okay, pause for the cause. Please make sure that you write this down, and we're going to go over the warm up. All right, here we go. Let's look at the warm up, please. It says one of the measures of a right triangle is, and we're going to draw a right triangle. That means it has 190-degree angle. And the other measure is 37. So we're going to put 37 here, 37 degrees. So we're missing this one, X. We're going to find the measurement of the missing one. Remember, all the degrees, or the sum of all angles in a triangle is what degrees? Anybody remember? 180 degrees. Good job, baby. So we're going to add all these up together and set it equal to 180, or we can just subtract it from 180 to see what's left. So we have 37 plus the 90-degree angle plus x is the angle that's missing. So let's add those together. Please use your calculator. We have 37. I'm going to ask somebody, so please add. We got 37 plus 90. What is 37 plus 90, Hannah? Very good, babe. We got 127. Bring down the plus x equals 180. Now let's get x by itself. How do we get rid of the 127? Do you know, Bruno?
Subtract it from both sides.
Very good, baby. We're going to subtract 127 from both sides, okay? This is gone and we're left with x. So now we have 180, type it in somebody, minus 127. What does that give us, Courtney? Very good, sweetheart. So we have 53 degrees as that missing angle measurement. I'm going to pause for the calls. I need you to put this in your folder. I'm going to go over which problems I need you to do tonight for homework. Wait a minute. So let me mark those. I need you to do 1 through 7 in the study guide tonight for homework. Problems 1 through 7 in the study guide for homework. Shh. Please write that down for your homework. I'm going to pause for the calls. All right, so now let's put this in our folder, and I need you to take out your interactive notebook, okay? If you don't have one, raise your hand and I'll get you some white paper. All right, here we go. I'm going to make this quick and painful. Please make sure that you listen so that you'll know how to do this. Oh, painless. Sorry. All right, this is quarter 2, page 14. Solving inequalities. Pay attention. All right, here we go. So now we got the different inequalities that we have to go through. Manny and Nose, please stop talking across my room. All right, so we got the sign. These are the different inequalities. We have less than. We have less than equal to. It looks like an L. The one that's less than looks like an L. The one that's backwards is greater than. So that's how it's easy way to remember.
Okay. I always got those confused.
That's okay, baby. Greater than. And greater than equal to. I'm going to write down the rules. And then we're going to do examples. The rules are going to be very similar, very much the same as solving an equation. The only thing that is going to be different is that if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, the inequality is going to flip. That means if it's less than, it's going to be greater than. If it's greater than, it's going to be less than. If it's less than equal to, then it's going to be greater than equal to, and vice versa. Only when you multiply and divide both sides by a negative number. Okay? So let's write your rules or steps for solving inequalities. first things first, same thing that we did before with solving equations, is you're going to do distributive property first. Shh. Okay? Distributive, evaluate, solve, evaluate. You can put either one, okay? Do distributive property first. Secondly, you're going to combine like terms on each side of the inequality separately. You're going to combine like terms on each side separately. Don't move anything just yet. You might not have to combine like terms. Then if you don't, if there are no terms that can be combined on each side of that inequality, then you skip that step. Thirdly, you move the variables to the same side. Turn around. Move variables to same side. And I'm talking about the same side of the inequality. Last, you're going to isolate the variable. And the only way to isolate the variable is by using inverse operations. Remember, your operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. The opposite of multiplication is division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. And what I said before, I put a star here. These are the same rules as solving equations. The only thing that's going to be different is that inequality is going to flip. Please leave the scissors alone. The inequality is going to flip if and only if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative. So flip the inequality if multiply or divide both sides by a negative. I'm going to pause for the calls.
This number six.
I don't know who came first.
I came first.
Yeah, she might.
I came first.
Oh, don't say that. All right, here we go. Examples. Yes, baby, just use the back. You're gonna paste it down. And for me, what I would do if I was you, all right, here we go. First example. Shh, hush. Number 1, 3. This is less than negative 5n plus 2n. Please write. Gonna do this together. I'm gonna do the first step. The first step is distributive property. In this problem, I don't see distributive property at all. So I'm not gonna do distributive property, okay? Any questions about that? Distributive property looks like this. Let me find another piece. is where you have a number on the outside of parentheses, and then you may have some numbers on the inside. This is distributive property. You don't see this in this problem. So you move to the next step, combine like terms. Nothing to combine over here because there's nothing but one number. But over here, you can combine these two terms because they both are like terms. They both have an n attached. What is negative 5n plus 2n? You could type that in as negative 5. Sorry, babe. What is it? Negative 3n. Bring down the less than symbol. This, when you combine it, is going to be a negative 3n. And you type it in as negative 5 plus 2, and that gives you negative 3, if you forgot. Last step, because we don't have variables on both sides, I can skip that step. The last step, sit up, please, Converse. The last step is to isolate the variable. Sit up, babe. How do we get rid, or how do we get n by itself? What operation is between negative 3 and n? Multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. Because we divide it by a negative number, see, you're going to flip the inequality when you multiply or divide both sides by a negative. So now, instead of this being less than, we're going to flip it to greater than because we divide it by a negative number. What is 3 divided by a negative 3? What's 3 divided by a negative 3? No, it goes in there. You saying
Negative X.
no. What is 3 divided by a negative 3?
Positive. No.
Negative 1.
Oh.
3 goes into negative 3 goes into 3 one time, and it's a negative. A negative divided by a negative is going to give me a positive 1n. What is another way to write this? If I put n on this side and negative 1 here, the mouth is open to the negative 1. So this is another way to write. They are saying the same thing. It's the user.
Hi, Patrick.
It's all right. Shh. Any questions about that? I'm going to pause it, and we're going to go to another example. Example 2. Let's choose a good one. Shh. Example 2. Let's try this one. We have 6x plus 2 plus 6x. Let's do less than again, 14. There's no distributive property here, so we skip that step. Now we're going to combine like terms. What terms can we combine on this side of the inequality? What terms can we combine on this side of the inequality? 6x, good job, babe. And what else? 6x, good job. So we got 6x plus 6x. What's 6x plus 6x? 12x. Christian, make sure you pay attention, babe. Then we got bring down the plus 2, bring down the inequality, bring down 14. Okay? Now what are we going to do in order to get x by itself? Because we don't have variables on both sides, so we can skip that step. Okay? Emily, you okay? So what are we going to do? Subtract 2. Very good. When we subtract 2, this is gone, and we're left with 12x. Bring down the inequality. We subtract 2 over here. What's 14 minus 2? 12. Now what are we going to do to isolate the variable? Divide. What are we dividing by? We're dividing by this 12 that's attached to the x by multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. Divide both sides by this 12. How many times will 12 go into 12? Once. 12 divided by 12 is going to be 1x. Bring down the inequality. We're not going to flip the inequality because it's positive. We divide it by a positive number. Only flip the inequality when you divide or multiply both sides by a negative. That's the only time to flip it. 12 goes into 12. How many times will 12 go into 12? Once. Please write that down. We'll pause for the cause. All right, let's do another example. Shh. Let's do another example. Shh. Example 3. We have 2 parentheses. Hush, so you can understand what we're doing. Plus 4, close parentheses, greater than a negative 12. Let's do this example. Shh. All right, first thing, Ansley, sit up, baby. You okay? Turn this way so you can focus. All right, so we have distributive property. So we're going to multiply 2 times both numbers in the parentheses. That's distributive property. So we have 2 many times x is 2x. Then we have 2 times a positive 4 is a positive 8. Bring down the greater than sign. Any questions about distributive property? Krishana, we're going to say the number that's on the outside, we're going to multiply it times both terms on the inside. So 2 times x is 2x. Then 2 times 4 is 8. Does that make sense? Okay. Bring down everything else. So we did distributive property first. Any questions about distributive property? Now we're going to see if we can combine like terms. You can't combine these 2 terms. They are not alike. Person 8. You can't combine anything over here. Okay? So now you're going to isolate the variable x. How do I get x by itself? What am I going to have to move first? The 2 or the 8? The 8. How do I move a positive 8? Subtract 8 on both sides. Very good. Bring down, make sure you bring down that inequality. All right, so this is gone, and I'm left with 2x. Now I have negative 12 minus 8. What is negative 12 minus 8? Type it in if you don't remember. Negative 12 minus 8. That's going to be a negative what? 20. Very good. Shh. Now we need to get rid of the 2. Converse, how do we get rid of the 2, babe? What operation is automatically between the 2 and the x? How do we get rid of the 2? This is multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? So we're going to divide both sides by 2. All right. We divided both sides by a positive number. So this inequality is going to stay the same. What is negative 20 divided by 2? Negative 10. All right. So now I need you to put the sheet in front of you. Keep this open so you can use it. Put the sheet in front of you. This is for grade. Okay, it's one right there. Can you hand her one or? Please make sure you put your name on it. Do it now. Yes, they do. That's a greater than sign. Shh. All right, what's the difference between shh? Those of you that are talking can't answer a question. That's a problem. Okay? We're going to have to do better than that. All right. This right here, the question was what operation is this? I mean, not what operation, what inequality is this? This is greater than. If you get confused at which one's which, the one that looks like the L, if you turn it just a little bit and it's an L, this is the less than symbol. The one that looks like the backwards L is the greater than symbol. That's how you know the difference between which one's less than and which one's greater than. The mouth is always going to go to the number that is the largest. Yes.
What doesn't make sense to me is why is it called greater than or equal to? Or
Okay.
If it's greater than, how is it equal to it?
Because if I have more money than you, how much money could I have? Like if you had $8 and I have more money than you, how much money could I have?
16.
I could have 16. Could I have $8?
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's the same.
Yeah.
So, but if I say I have more money than you or equal to you, could I have $8?
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Oh.
You understand now, baby?
Yeah.
All right. That's a good question. All right. I need you to do this. You can work with the people at your table if you like. I need for you to show your work. This is a grade. I did the first one. Please copy this one in. And this one is going, it's greater than, this one is going this way. And so now this is the problem that you're going to do. I'm going to pause for the cause. This is for a grade. You have time because you're not going to do all of them. You're only going to do the ones that go to that path. The answer.